Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Imagine this. Your phone buzzes, and there it is, a message from your ex. It feels like a sudden jolt, like a wave crashing against the shore, stirring up emotions you thought had settled. Instantly, a storm of questions floods your mind. Why now? What do they want? Should I even respond? The emotional roller coaster begins. Hope tangles with doubt. Curiosity wrestles with fear. And somewhere deep down, there's that vulnerable part of you wondering if this is a second chance or a trapdoor back to old patterns. But pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. This isn't just about them or their reasons for reaching out. This moment is a mirror, reflecting everything you've become since they left your life. Think about it. How far have you come? How many nights did you spend picking up the pieces, rediscovering your worth, and building a stronger, wiser version of yourself? That message, whether it's a casual hey or a tearful apology, isn't just a call for conversation. It's a reminder of your growth. How you handle this moment will define its impact. Will it propel you further along your path of healing, or will it pull you back into cycles you've worked so hard to break? Let's be clear. This isn't about proving a point, exacting revenge, or reopening wounds that still sting. It's about you, your growth, your peace, your boundaries. You've spent so much time rebuilding yourself. Don't let a single message unravel your progress. As the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That's the mindset you need to embrace right now. Their message, their timing, their motives, all of that is external. You can't control what they do, but you can control how you respond. Let's be honest, their message might stir up all kinds of feelings. Maybe you feel flattered that they're reaching out. Maybe you feel annoyed that they've disrupted your peace. Or maybe nostalgia creeps in, tugging at old heartstrings. But here's the secret. You decide what their words mean. You get to choose how this chapter unfolds. Are you going to let history repeat itself? Or are you going to write a completely new story? Take a moment to reflect. Are you still the person who tolerated less than you deserved? Are there unresolved emotions still lingering in the shadows? Or have you grown into someone who values themselves enough to walk away from anything that doesn't serve their peace? This is your moment to check in with yourself, to ask, am I proud of who I've become? Because no matter what their message says, it's not about them. It's about you reclaiming your narrative. This isn't about playing games or making them regret losing you. It's not even about rekindling what's already burned out. This is about stepping fully into your power. It's about choosing you, your growth, your clarity, your peace above all else. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize reason over emotion, to focus on what we can control, and to let go of everything else. That's exactly the energy we're bringing today. Maybe their message is a sincere olive branch. Maybe it's a test to see if they still have a hold over you. Either way, the power lies in your hands, not theirs. You've worked too hard to become the person you are now, to let a single text dictate your worth or your future. In today's video, I'm sharing 10 powerful strategies to help you navigate this situation with grace, confidence, and wisdom. These tips are rooted in Stoic principles and self-empowerment, designed to keep your peace intact while turning this moment into a stepping stone for growth. If you're ready to reclaim your power and respond from a place of strength, stick around. Let's dive in. Here's the first step. Treat their message as a mirror of their emotional state, not a reflection of your worth. When your ex reaches out, it's tempting to analyze their words for clues about what they're feeling, but their message isn't about you. Whether it's regret, guilt, loneliness, or curiosity driving them. It's their emotions at play, not yours. As Marcus Aurelius said, perfect tranquility consists in the good ordering of the mind. Your peace isn't found in their validation. It's cultivated by mastering your inner world. So, let's take this journey together. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to handle this moment with strength and clarity, turning it into a testament to how far you've come. Ready? Let's begin. Instead of reacting impulsively to their message, take a moment to pause and view the situation through the lens of self-awareness. Their message may stir a wave of emotions within you, but it's essential to ask, what does their outreach really say about where they are in life? Are they seeking closure, hoping to relive a connection you once shared, or perhaps testing the waters to see if they can still access your energy? While understanding their intentions is valuable, it's secondary to the real, more important question. How does their message align with the person you've become and the values you now hold dear? This is where the practice of reflection becomes your most powerful tool. Reflect not just on the words they've sent, but on the journey you've walked since they left. Think about the nights you spent rebuilding your confidence, the lessons you've learned about your worth, and the boundaries you've carefully put in place to protect your peace. Those things, the hard-earned wisdom and strength, are what define your worth, not the fleeting interest of someone who once chose to walk away from your life. Guarding your emotional space is vital, especially in moments like this. When someone unexpectedly reaches out, it's easy to absorb their emotions, whether it's regret, sadness, or longing, and allow their feelings to cloud your judgment. But emotional absorption, it's a trap. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Their message is external. You have the power to control how you respond, and it's through self-awareness that you can protect your inner tranquility. Now, let's turn this into action. I want you to make a declaration right here, right now. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am not defined by someone else's emotions. I define my worth from within. Say it out loud. Write it down. Let it sink in. This is your moment to stand tall in your growth, to affirm that your value comes from you, not from someone else's perceptions. Let their message serve as a mirror, not a map of your journey forward. This is your chance to declare your peace, your worth, and your future. Number 2, don't fall into the trap of over-explaining. When your ex reaches out, it's natural to feel like you need to justify your silence, explain your healing process, or outline all the ways you've changed. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone a detailed account of your growth. Stoicism teaches us to value simplicity, both in our thoughts and in our communication. Over-explaining dilutes your message. It's often a sign of insecurity, a subconscious need for approval. But your growth is not up for debate, and you certainly don't need validation from anyone, especially someone who isn't fully invested in your journey. The philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "First, learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." This is a call to be intentional with your words. When you respond, if you choose to respond at all, do so with clarity and brevity. Oversharing only leaves room for misinterpretation or emotional manipulation. Silence, on the other hand, communicates a deep sense of self-possession. It says, "I've moved on. My peace is non-negotiable." Think about it. When you over-explain, it's often because you're seeking validation. But your growth is a personal achievement, not something to be debated or defended. It's yours to own, regardless of whether others understand it. By choosing not to fill the silence with unnecessary words, you assert your boundaries and your independence. Think of this moment like a chess game, not a tennis match. It's not about answering every volley thrown your way. Instead, it's about strategic patience. You speak only when your words add value, and let the power of your restraint do the rest. If they truly want to understand you, they'll pay attention to the quiet strength in your actions and your ability to stay grounded. Now, here's your affirmation. I don't need to explain myself. My actions and peace speak for me. Drop this in the comments and let it remind you that your journey doesn't need to be narrated for anyone else's benefit. Believe it. Let your confidence in your growth be enough. Sometimes, the most powerful message you can send is the one you choose not to say. Number 3. Take a moment to deeply consider what your ex is seeking and why now. Timing is rarely accidental. People don't reach out of the blue without a reason. And more often than not, their timing has everything to do with their own emotional state, not a newfound appreciation for your value. Are they feeling lonely? Nostalgic? Looking for closure or validation? Or perhaps they're just testing the waters to see if they still have some influence over you? Understanding the motives behind their message is key to protecting your peace. The Stoics believed in being deliberate with our actions and not letting external events dictate our emotional state. Marcus Aurelius once said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." In this case, replace death with distraction. Don't allow this moment to divert you from the life you've worked so hard to build. Their timing may not be random, but it's up to you to decide if it's worth your time and emotional energy. When your ex reaches out, it's natural to feel a rush of emotions. But here's the truth. This moment is an opportunity for you to reclaim your power. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can choose to reflect. Ask yourself, why are they reaching out now? Perhaps they've been sifting through old memories, second-guessing their past decisions. Maybe they've faced struggles in their current life or relationships, and that's prompted them to revisit what they once had with you. Or it could simply be that they're curious about your life and whether there's still a place for them in your heart. While these scenarios aren't necessarily bad, understanding them gives you the ability to respond with clarity, not emotion. The key here is to shift your focus from their timing to your own journey. What have you built since they left? Have you cultivated new strengths, set boundaries, and established peace? If you engage with them, does it align with the person you've become, or would it risk reopening old wounds? The power lies in responding from a place of self-awareness and confidence, not insecurity or curiosity. Remember, their timing doesn't dictate your response. You are in control. To reinforce this mindset, here's an affirmation for you to anchor yourself. I see through timing and motives. I respond with wisdom. Drop this in the comments and let it be your declaration of insight. Write it down, say it aloud, and truly believe it. You've come too far to let someone else's timing steer the course of your life. Stand firm in your growth, weigh their intentions against your progress, and trust that wisdom lies in choosing what aligns with your peace. Number 4. Don't reopen the door without checking the locks. Reconnecting with an ex can be tempting, but before you entertain the idea, ask yourself, are the emotional locks in place to protect your peace? Rebuilding your life and boundaries takes time, and it's essential to check that these safeguards are intact before you allow anyone back in. Whether they're looking for closure or simply testing the waters, letting someone in without ensuring that your boundaries are strong enough can undo everything you've worked so hard to achieve. Take a moment to evaluate. Are you emotionally ready? Have you healed from the wounds of the past, or are you inviting them back because of unresolved feelings, loneliness, or curiosity? If that's the case, you may be opening a door to old, painful patterns that no longer serve you. Remember, your boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They're about saying yes to yourself, your peace, and your growth. When you protect your emotional space, you're honoring your worth. If their actions still carry manipulation, disrespect, or inconsistency, it's clear. The door stays shut. Maya Angelou once wisely said, "Never make someone a priority when all you are to them is an option." If they haven't demonstrated through actions that they respect and value you, then your peace is non-negotiable. Here's your affirmation to lock in this mindset. I protect my peace and unlock my door only for those who deserve it. Drop this in the comments and say it out loud. Let it be a reminder that you are the gatekeeper of your heart. You've come too far to let anyone who hasn't earned the right back into your life. Trust in your growth and let your boundaries be the locks that ensure only those who respect your progress can enter. Number 5. Neutrality is your greatest weapon. When your ex reaches out, your power doesn't lie in reacting with excitement, anger, or anxiety. It lies in neutrality. It might sound counterintuitive, but remaining neutral is an act of strength. It shows you've mastered your emotions and that you're no longer swayed by their actions or words. Neutrality doesn't mean being cold or dismissive. It means responding with balance, calm, and clarity. It's a profound demonstration of emotional stability and independence. The Stoics emphasized this mindset. Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this case, their reaching out is an event you can't control, but your response is entirely within your power. When you respond with neutrality, you take back control of the situation, preventing your emotions from being manipulated or exploited. Neutrality isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about choosing to rise above them. It's about remembering your values, boundaries, and self-worth. By responding with calmness, you deny them the power to play on your emotional vulnerabilities. A simple composed response like, "Thank you for reaching out. I hope you're doing well," is both gracious and firm. It communicates that you've moved forward, that you're no longer emotionally dependent on their words or actions. Here's the affirmation I want you to adopt. I respond with balance and strength, not emotion. Say it out loud, drop it in the comments, and let it remind you that neutrality is a powerful choice. It's not about not caring. It's about caring more about your peace than anything else. When you respond with neutrality, you send a strong message. You've grown. You've healed. You're in control of your own story now. Number 6. Treat this as a reminder of why it ended. When your ex reaches out, it's easy to get swept up in nostalgia. The old feelings may flood in those memories of laughter, late-night talks, and moments of tenderness. You might start to romanticize the past and forget why it ended in the first place. But here's the reality. This is not a moment to revisit the past with rose-colored glasses. Instead, it's an opportunity to reflect deeply on the reasons the relationship didn't work and to reaffirm the growth you've achieved since. What were the core issues that led to the breakup? Was it a lack of respect, poor communication, or fundamental incompatibility? Understanding these reasons not only gives you clarity, but also strengthens your resolve to never repeat those mistakes. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wisely said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." In this case, the difficulty is facing the painful truth of why the relationship ended. It's not about blaming your ex or making excuses. It's about using that experience as a mirror to reflect on what you've learned. What have you learned about your boundaries, your needs, and your desires? What qualities do you now recognize as non-negotiable in any future relationship? This isn't about replaying old wounds. It's about using that pain to fuel your growth and understanding of what truly matters in your life and love. When your ex reaches out, don't let yourself be swept away by the emotions of the moment. Instead, use this as a chance to affirm your personal growth and the wisdom you've gained. Think about how far you've come, the unhealthy patterns you've broken, the toxic dynamics you've escaped, and the deep respect you've cultivated for yourself. Let this reminder of why the relationship ended reinforce your commitment to never settling for anything less than what you truly deserve. You are no longer the person you were when that relationship ended. You've transformed into someone who values their peace and their worth more than ever before. Remember, it's not just about avoiding past mistakes. It's about acknowledging that you're in a much stronger place now. Yes, there were good times, but they don't overshadow the reasons the relationship ultimately ended. The strength you've found through healing is proof of your growth. As you reflect on how far you've come, honor the lessons learned and the person you've become. The past may have shaped you, but it no longer defines you. Each step away from that past is part of the powerful, resilient individual you've grown into. Number 7. Avoid giving immediate gratification. When your ex reaches out, it might be tempting to give them an immediate response to ease their discomfort, satisfy their curiosity, or provide that momentary ego boost they're seeking. But here's the hard truth. Your peace is not for sale, and your emotional stability should never be at the mercy of their timing or needs. Instant gratification may seem like the easiest way to handle the situation, but it often leads to regret and emotional turbulence in the long run. The Stoics practiced self-restraint because they understood that true power lies in delaying reactions. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." This wisdom applies to much more than just anger. It applies to all emotional reactions. When you respond impulsively, you give away control over your emotions and actions. You become reactive rather than proactive, and that can pull you back into old emotional patterns you've worked hard to escape. Delaying your response isn't about punishing your ex or playing games. It's about giving yourself the space you need to reflect. It's a conscious decision to protect your emotional energy. Instead of reacting in the heat of the moment, you give yourself time to assess whether responding aligns with your values and the person you've become. Immediate gratification might feel satisfying, but it's fleeting, and it often leaves you feeling drained or unsure afterward. By resisting the urge to respond quickly, you regain control of the situation. You create space for thoughtful, intentional action that supports your growth rather than feeding old habits. Delaying your response is a sign of self-respect. You're no longer at the mercy of their emotional needs or desire for closure. You recognize that your peace is sacred and can't be disturbed for someone else's comfort. Here's the affirmation I want you to adopt. I control my responses. I respond only when it aligns with my values. Write this down, say it out loud, and feel the strength in this declaration. You've worked hard to create emotional stability. Don't let anyone undermine that with an impulsive reaction. By choosing delay, you're choosing yourself. Number 8. Shift the power dynamic without saying a word. When your ex reaches out, it's easy to slip into the familiar patterns of seeking validation or trying to prove your worth. But you don't have to engage on their terms. You can shift the power dynamic subtly without ever saying a word. Instead of focusing on their needs or emotions, let your response reflect your inner strength, growth, and self-assurance. You don't need to try to prove anything or get their approval. Just let your life speak for itself. This shift is all about reclaiming your narrative. It's about showing them, without even trying, that your life is thriving whether or not they acknowledge it. Your calm, confident energy will speak volumes, far louder than any word could ever do. There's a quiet strength in showing, not telling. When you respond with grace, it sends a powerful message. You are no longer attached to the past, and you're no longer dependent on their recognition or validation. Imagine this. Instead of diving into a long conversation about how you've been, you simply say, "I've been focusing on some exciting new projects and really growing as a person." You don't need to explain every detail, but this one simple statement communicates everything they need to know. It says, "My happiness, my success, and my life are in my hands, and I no longer need you to affirm that." This subtle shift in power isn't about arrogance or boasting. It's about quietly owning your progress. It's about demonstrating that you are at peace with yourself and focused on the future. When you choose to show up in this way, you let them see you in your full light. Someone who has grown, healed, and is thriving on their own terms. As the Stoics wisely believed, what we do in life echoes in eternity. Every choice you make, especially when responding to your ex, is a reflection of the growth you've undergone and your evolving sense of self-worth. This is your moment to decide what echoes through time. Your actions today are not reflections of the past, not of the person you were when you were with them, but of the person you've become through everything you've experienced since. Your response is not about clinging to old attachments, but about showing the world and yourself how far you've come. Imagine it. When you choose to stand firm in your progress, you're not just letting go of an old relationship, you're embracing the future that's waiting for you. You've built a new, stronger foundation for yourself. In this moment, you have the power to reflect your own evolution. Your strength is not measured by how much you can hold on, but by how much you've let go, how much you've healed, and how much you've grown. Affirm this power for yourself. I stand tall in my progress. I need no validation. Repeat it, feel it, embody it. If you're ready to own this moment and take back the power that rightfully belongs to you, drop that affirmation in the comments below. Let this be your declaration to the universe that you are no longer defined by the past, but by the person you are becoming. Number 9. Use their reach out as a catalyst for gratitude. When your ex reaches out, it can stir up emotions you thought you'd long left behind. Old feelings may resurface, tempting you to revisit the past or question your decisions. But here's where you can flip the script. Instead of letting their message pull you into confusion or regret, turn this moment into a catalyst for gratitude. Take a deep breath and shift your focus. Reflect on how much you've evolved since the breakup, the personal growth, the lessons learned, and the positive changes that have shaped your life. Gratitude is one of the most transformative forces we have. It elevates our emotional state and reminds us of our inner strength and resilience. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them." This isn't just about looking at the world with wonder, it's about seeing your own journey as beautiful and meaningful, no matter the obstacles. Your ex's message is a small moment in the grand tapestry of your life, and your story is still being written. Think about it. Every challenge you've faced has strengthened your resolve, shaped your character, and made you the powerful person you are today. When you choose gratitude, you're reminded that what you've gained far outweighs what you've lost. Your story is no longer about the past. It's about who you're becoming and all the amazing things ahead of you. Instead of allowing their message to disrupt your emotional peace, use it to celebrate how far you've come. Reflect on the strength you've found in your own company, the independence you've earned, and the dreams you've been chasing. Every step you've taken toward growth is a victory, and each victory deserves recognition. Let gratitude be your guide. It's a way to detach from the need for external validation and instead focus on the most important relationship in your life, the one you have with yourself. Affirm your gratitude by saying, "I am grateful for my growth, my journey, and my resilience." Drop it in the comments if you're ready to reflect on your own journey, and let gratitude elevate your emotional state. Number 10. Recognize when to let the chapter close. There are moments in life when the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. When your ex reaches out, not every message deserves a response. In fact, some messages are best left unanswered. Silence is not avoidance. It's a statement of strength, self-respect, and most importantly, closure. You are the author of your own story, and not every chapter needs to be reopened. As Seneca said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. The end of your relationship marks the beginning of something greater, a new chapter of your life, one that you are free to shape according to your values and goals. Choosing not to respond is not about holding on to anger or bitterness. It's about recognizing that you've moved on, and you don't need to revisit what's already been closed. When you choose silence, you're demonstrating emotional maturity and control over your narrative. You're telling yourself and the world that you've made peace with the past and are fully engaged in the future. By not responding, you affirm that the past no longer defines you. You are no longer dependent on anyone else's actions or validation to determine your worth or happiness. Remember, true closure doesn't come from someone else's apology or explanation. It comes from within. By leaving their message unanswered, you take control of the situation. You've already closed that chapter. You've already found peace, and there's no need to revisit what's been left behind. This is an act of self-respect. It shows that you understand the importance of boundaries that protect your emotional peace and your forward momentum. You don't need their approval to feel whole. Your journey is yours to navigate, and you've learned to trust yourself along the way. There you have it, 10 unique ways to handle the moment when your ex reaches out. This isn't about them. It's about you. It's about the life you're building, the peace you're protecting, and the future you're creating. Drop your favorite affirmation in the comments. I choose myself, my peace, and my progress. Like, share, and subscribe for more life-changing insights on how to move forward with strength and clarity. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and keep moving forward.